Hello and welcome to House News. In this episode, we will present to you the latest information coming from the House of Representatives of the Republic of Indonesia. Before we get started, let's see the headlines for today. BKSAP of the House urged developed countries to provide financial support to help developing nations combat climate change impacts. Diplomatic relations between Indonesia and Sweden have been established since 1950. This relationship has led both countries to develop various collaboration in sustainable development. Ahead of the 75th anniversary of Indonesia-Romania relations, Commission 1 of the House received a courtesy call from the Romanian ambassador. Commission 12 of the House highlighted Bappeten's role in ensuring the safe use of nuclear technology in Indonesia, protecting society, the environment, and meeting international safety standards. Vietnamese e-taxi has marked its Indonesian debut by launching its fleet in Jakarta. The company also plans to expand to Bali. BKSAP of the House urges developed countries to provide financial assistance to developing nations to combat climate change. This support is needed to help these countries reduce greenhouse gas emissions and mitigate the impacts of climate change.
Vice Chairperson of BKSAP of the House Ravindra Erlangga pointed out, 75% of global emissions causing climate change come from several developed countries. However, other nations, especially island countries, face serious impacts from climate change, such as rising sea levels.
Salah satunya kemarin negara Tonga yang mengalami kenaikan permukaan air laut bisa menyebabkan negara mereka hanyut. Jadi ini mereka meminta bantuan dan ini di Parlemen Eropa, Parlemen Inggris juga menyuarakan bahwa harus ada peningkatan komitmen untuk pendanaan iklim untuk membantu negara-negara berkembang menurunkan emisi gas rumah kaca mereka yang lebih tinggi dari sekarang.
In addition to encouraging increased climate financing commitments from developed countries, Indonesia is also taking steps to support the reductions of greenhouse gas emissions. The chairperson of BKSAP of the House, Mardani Alisera, mentioned one of Indonesia's concrete actions to address the impacts of climate change is the transitions to the use of environmentally friendly new and renewable energy sources.
Dampak ekonomi yang short term mungkin malah memberatkan karena kita mesti convert dari PLTU basis batubara atau diesel menjadi yang lebih more friendly fuel source. Tetapi dampak jangka panjangnya dengan blue energy, green energy, energi terbarukan itu membuat sustainable development kita menjadi kuat.
From Depok, West Java, Elisa Purba, TVA Parliament reports.
Commission 1 of the House received a courtesy call from Indonesia-Sweden Parliamentary Friendship Group. The meeting discussed cooperation potential in education, defense, AI, and also telecommunication technology.
Chairpersons of Commission 1 of the House Utut Adianto mentioned the meeting with the Swedish Parliamentary Friendship Group focused on various potential sectors for cooperations. These include defense, education, artificial intelligence, and the development of telecommunications technology. The economic relationship of the two countries is currently experiencing significant deficits. Therefore, it is necessary to maximize cooperation opportunities.
Kita juga meng-underline bahwa hubungan bilateral kita secara ekonomi kita masih banyak defisit. Sesungguhnya peluang itu sangat besar. Tinggal kita bagaimana memenuhi standar peruntukan di Swedia yang betul-betul tinggi, karena memang mereka kalau produk masuk ke sana itu memang harus produk kelas 1 yang melalui uji teknis dan seterusnya. Artinya pertemuan ini bukan hanya courtesy call, tapi pertemuan ini sangat fruitful, banyak titik-titik yang kita dicerahkan.
Furthermore, Utut Adianto encourages the accelerations of several pending agreements between Indonesia and Sweden. He encourages both countries to immediately finalize several unsettled agreements between Indonesia and Sweden. In addition, Utut Adianto hopes the leaders and parliaments of both countries can identify obstacles to cooperations to strengthen bilateral collaborations. Arif Endomi, TVR Parliament Report.
Commission 1 of the House encourages strengthening cooperation between Indonesia and Romania in wheat imports as wheat is essential ingredient in Indonesia's food industry.
Chairperson of Commission 1 of the House Utut Adianto explained Romania is one of the top wheat producers in Europe and is known for its high-quality educations. Therefore, cooperations between Indonesia and Romania should be enhanced in the economic, trade, and education sectors.
Mudah-mudahan dari kegiatan yang sederhana ini kita bisa membuka akses untuk impor, tentu tidak hanya negara-negara itu saja, juga akses untuk pemuda kita mempelajari di universitas-universitas terbaik mereka di Bukuresti maupun Timisoara. Mereka sangat ahli di bidang matematik, kemudian sains, kedokteran.
At the same time, the Romanian ambassador to Indonesia, Dan Adrian Balicescu, welcomed the opportunity to strengthen collaborations, expressing interest in expanding cooperation in various sectors.
And the Romanian government is offering every year a number of scholarships for Indonesian students. Also, we have discussed about the bilateral agreements being discussed between our two countries, like in tourism, for example, where we like to attract more Indonesian tourists to Romania. And finally, I have touched upon the cooperation between European Union and Indonesia. Romania supports the conclusion of the free trade agreement between European Union and Indonesia.
Ajib Endwi, TVR Parliament Report.
We still have more update from Commission 12 of the House. After the break, stay tuned to House News. Commission 12 of the House urges the government to consider transitioning from fossil energy to nuclear energy, which is more cost-efficient and environmentally friendly.
After a hearing meeting with the head of the Nuclear Energy Regulatory Agency, or BAPETAN, Vice Chairpersons of Commission 12 of the House, Sugeng Suparwoto, emphasized the government's strong commitment to utilizing new and renewable energy sources. He highlighted the importance of nuclear power in addressing fossil fuels' economic and environmental challenges. He also encouraged increased use of nuclear energy to meet domestic energy demand.
Nah, nuklir sebagai energi yang bersih dan dia bersifat stabil, base load bisa 24 jam secara terus-menerus, sehingga kita bukan nuklir. Nah, hadir hari ini dengan BAPETAN. Nah, kebetulan ini pemerintahan baru, kalau kita dengar komitmennya terhadap energi baru, energi terbarukan juga memang sangat tinggi. Itu semuanya memerlukan ekosistem yang baik. Di antaranya harus adanya regulasi yang jelas di soal energi baru, energi terbarukan termasuk nuklir. Maka Komisi 12 segera akan menuntaskan yakni Undang-Undang Energi Baru, Energi Terbarukan. Dengan demikian, dengan adanya undang-undang dan nanti dilanjuti oleh ketentuan-ketentuan yang di bawahnya, maka akan ada kepastian bagaimana energi itu dibangun, termasuk juga energi nuklir.
Additionally, Sugeng Suparwoto emphasized the government must immediately formulate regulations to support and provide legal certainty in the explorations, exploitations, and regulations of nuclear energy sources. Helmi Darmawan, TVR Parliament Report.
The Free Nutritious Meal Program, which officially began on January 6, has received a positive response from the public. Nevertheless, the House will continue to conduct supervision and evaluation related to the implementation of the program.
Vice Speaker of the House Suhmi Dasko Ahmad mentioned, in addition to supervision, the House through its relevant commissions will also conduct an evaluation meeting and provide feedback on the implementations of Free Nutritious Meals Program. The goal is to improve the program so that all students in Indonesia can receive free meals program without exception.
Ya, dalam satu hari tentunya kita belum bisa memberikan penilaian itu berhasil atau tidak berhasil. Tapi secara keseluruhan kita lihat bahwa program makan bergizi yang kemudian sudah berjalan secara perdana itu mendapat sambutan yang bagus dari masyarakat, dan kita akan terus mendampingi pemerintah untuk supaya program makan bergizi ini akan lebih baik ke depannya demikian. Kemudian masalah distribusi dan lain-lain memang perlu kemudian disempurnakan. Nah, mengenai hal-hal lain yang masih belum pas, itu tentunya komisi teknis yang bersangkutan di DPR.
Furthermore, Suhmi Dasko recognized several challenges and obstacles related to the provisions of free nutritious meals. He added this issue should be addressed and discussed by the House and the government. Zikri Yaserto Denus, TVA Parliament Report.
Commission 11 of the House demands OJK and LPS to implement public financial literacy program. These moves aim to tackle the growing issue of online gambling and its financial implications.
According to data from the Financial Transaction and Analysis Reporting Center or PPATK, West Java has the highest number of online gambling players and transactions in Indonesia. Member of Commission 11 of the House Jeffrey Romdoni said, the Financial Services Authority or OJK and the Deposit Insurance Institution or LPS need to make more efforts to combat the increasing rate of online gambling. Furthermore, he urged OJK and LPS to improve public financial literacy to protect people from fraud and crimes in the financial sector.
Literasi keuangan di Jawa Barat ini sudah lumayan bagus ya. Tapi saya rasa ini mungkin perlu ada inisiatif untuk terus ditingkatkan, karena dengan angka bagus saja bahwasanya kasus kayak judo itu sekarang tuh merebak gitu ya. Sehingga diharapkan ke depan itu kasus judo itu bisa ditekan hingga habis gitu. Kemudian selain daripada itu juga ya tentunya mungkin ini kaitan dengan peningkatan literasi tidak hanya di OJK, mungkin di LPS juga barangkali ya. Nah, selain daripada itu juga ini mungkin yang sudah memprihatinkan banyaknya kasus penipuan di sektor keuangan ya, dikarenakan ya ketidaktahuan daripada masyarakat.
In addition to online gambling, West Java also ranked highest in online loan defaults with a total of 16 trillion rupiah. From Bandung, West Java, Helmi Darmawan, TVA Parliament reports.
When we return, we will have more interesting stories on the environment, only on House News. Vietnamese electric taxi service officially launched operations in Jakarta, marking its entry into Indonesia at its second international market after Laos. The service uses electric cars, distinguished by their signature, green and blue color.
Vietnam's Green and Smart Mobility officially launched an SM electric taxi service in Indonesia. With its smart and eco-friendly mobility solution, GSM is determined to conquer one of Southeast Asia's most promising ride-hailing markets while promoting global green transition. The service utilizes a fleet of Finvast E34 electric cars distinguished by their characteristic green-blue color. Jakarta was chosen as the first location for this electric taxi service as a major city facing significant traffic challenges. This initiative aims to address air pollution and carbon emissions, which are common problems in large urban areas. Introducing electric taxis offers an environmentally friendly transportation options and aligns with the Indonesian government's efforts to promote an electric vehicle ecosystem. As the number of electric taxis increases, greenhouse gas emissions produced by fossil fuel power vehicles can be expected to decline. While the company operates only in Jakarta, it plans to expand its services to other cities like Bali in the near future. The growing number of electric taxis is expected to impact the environment by reducing air pollution and raising public awareness about the importance of more environmentally friendly transportation.
Jakarta Provincial Government launched a new logo and mascot for Taman Marga Satwa Ragunan. It is called Elang Bondol. This is a commitment to become an international zoo with a strong, brave, and friendly philosophy.
Ragunan Wildlife Park has just launched a new logo as part of its fresh rebranding for the decades-old zoo. The new logo replaces the old design, which has been used for 44 years. In its latest design, the zoo logo incorporates elements that represent the diverse animals found in Ragunan, including orangutan footprints, tiger fangs, elephant tusks, and bald eagles. These elements form a shape that resembles a tree, symbolizing the unity of sustainable nature. Each symbol in the logo carries a meaning that reflects Ragunan's unique identity. The footprint of an orangutan, a typical Indonesian animal, represents the Smooth-Serve Primate Center in Ragunan. The bald eagle, Jakarta's mascot, is included in the logo to illustrate Ragunan's connections to the capital city. Additionally, the tiger's fangs and elephant tusks symbolize the zoo's power and status as one of Indonesia's largest conservation destinations. In addition to launching a new logo, the zoo also introduced its new mascot, Eldo, a bald eagle. This mascot enhances Ragunan Wildlife Park's identity and symbolizes the pride and diversity of animals in the area.
The National Library has just received an award from the Indonesian World Record Museum as the tallest library building in the world. The building consists of 24 floors, making it a new icon in the world of libraries.
In addition to its impressive architecture, the National Library is popular for the diverse range of services it offers. Personalized services are available for children, the elderly, and people with disabilities. The 7th floor features various supporting facilities, including magnification devices, text readers, and computers equipped with audiobooks for visually impaired library users. On the same floor, the children's room has a learning computer and a storytelling stage, designed to foster an interest in reading from an early age. Other floors feature multimedia services. While the 24th floor offers an executive relaxation room and a collection showcasing Indonesian culture along with a view of the National Monument. The National Library is a popular destination with nearly 1,000 visitors coming to enjoy the various facilities available. The Muri Award highlights the National Library is not just a library, but also a center of knowledge with positive impacts to society.
And that's House News for today. Thank you for tuning in and see you on the next episode. Bye-bye.